Well, I think it seems fair to say that dealing with Agon has become agonizing, as the title says it all right there. Agonized Grand Prix series continues in Geneva. Peter Dockers has the full scoop and dives into much of the controversy surrounding Agon and the organizing entity that owns the rights to the FIDE Grand Prix series and ultimately the World Championship system. We're going to discuss that. I posted a question in the chat whether you, the chess fan, think that chess.com or any site should be giving this tournament as much coverage as we are. Or is it time for a full boycott, or are we doing the best we can and the right thing given the circumstances? Wait to hear your thoughts. Can't wait to hear your thoughts, but until you fill the chat with your comments, I'm going to dive in and do what we always do first on the Chess Today show, and that is to solve the daily puzzle. No further ado. Let's do this, people. All right, what do we got? We've got the daily puzzle. We've got a potential mating net on the king on e8, and the first thing you have to look at is the queen coming down to c8. I think sometimes when you first look at positions like this, you look at the most forceful move order, which would be to give the check first, right? So you check, he moves, you take, the knight takes, and then you look at some discovery, moving the bishop to get a discovered check. At the end of that line, you realize that the most forceful bang your head through the brick wall approach is probably just going to lead to a whole bunch of smoke and not enough substance. So then you consider the other move order, where you consider removing the bishop first and opening the rook, because if this knight is pinned, that changes the game on queen to c2, now obviously leading to the potential for checkmate. So seems to me that without really much else to consider, the move is going to be whatever the most forceful tempo move can be with this bishop to sort of follow through with the clearance sacrifice that opens up the e-file, right? Once you recognize that idea, you want to find the most forceful move. The most forceful move is pretty obvious and clear. We play this move to attack the queen. Then we follow through with our idea, delivering checkmate on the 8th rank. And that's it. So instant replay again tells us what's instructive about this position. It's a clearance sacrifice if you're always wondering what the pattern is. And I find it a little bit unnecessary to talk always about the names of patterns, because it's not the name that counts, but how you use it, right? And in a chess game, there are so many different names of combinations. I don't even remember half the Anastasias, Damianos, Grecos made. It doesn't matter. But what matters is that you recognize where your most powerful pieces are facing their most weak areas of the board, and you look at the most forceful way to make that combination happen. Removing the bishop is a clearance sacrifice. You sacrifice the bishop to clear the file for the rook, pinning the knight so that it would be illegal to move the knight, and Bob's your uncle. So there you go. There's our daily puzzle. The show has begun. Welcome everybody to Chess Today. Excited to have you here. The chat is buzzing at twitch.tv/chess and chess.com TV. So if you haven't ever caught a Chess Today show live, first of all, what's wrong with you? Why don't you start checking the chess.com TV schedule and tuning in? Secondly, thank you to everybody for the comments. So here we go. We got lots of opinions on this, and if you have not checked out Peter's article, his news report, let me first say that if you're in there just for the chess, no problem. Dive into this article here on the Geneva FIDE Grand Prix. For those of you who really don't even, you're starting totally in the dark on the show, let me give you the quick summary. The FIDE Grand Prix cycle is what ultimately decides who gets to play in the Candidates Tournament, and the Candidates Tournament is a single tournament to decide who gets to challenge Magnus Carlsen for the World Championship title. There you go. So the Grand Prix cycle rolls on. We've already had legs, several legs before this. The most recent one was in Moscow. Here in Geneva, the first round started, so you can scroll past if you want and get to the standings and dive into all the games of today. But to start the article, Peter dives into really the unfortunate and sad situation that is surrounding Agon these days. It is the company that owns the rights to these tournaments, and so we're all sort of handcuffed when they really own the rights to arguably the most important tournament series on the planet, at least as far as chess is concerned. But they're in debt. They owe FIDE money. They owe lots of other people money. I'm not even going to get into all the details of our own dysfunctional relationship with them, because at the risk of seeming both non-biased, which we are, and we maintain that position in our news articles, not to talk about our own relationship with Agon. But I can say that it is a dysfunctional one, and not one that necessarily we're happy about. And everybody else is in even worse shoes with them. I mean, there's lawsuits, there's flat out boycotts of anything they do. So it's a mess, right? And Chess.com's position, what I'm going to say here at the end is very simple. You know, regardless of the circumstances, and I helped Peter craft this statement, if you will, just to make it clear to the fans that why do we cover this event when obviously, you know, the major chess media in Russian aren't really covering the event, right? The world's largest chess site in Russia. I mean, Chess24 and so many of the other competitors of Chess.com, we all do the best we can to cover top events. I don't really consider them our competitors in this regard. We're just doing the best we can to bring the joy of chess to the fans around the world. And, you know, it's a difficult situation when you see a lot of them taking even harsher stances with them than we are, because people say, well, why doesn't Chess.com do it? Well, I guess from our position is two things. One, we've been around a while, and I can tell you as a chess professional, I don't want to call doom and gloom to Agon's situation, but I'm going to say that whether it's Agon or another entity running chess in 10 years, do we want to look back at a time like this and say that the world's best chess players who deserve our love and support, the world's best tournaments designed to bring us a world championship challenger, didn't get the coverage they deserve? Do I want to say that? The answer is no. And that's why we cover these events, because to me, the circumstances aside, it's our job to cover the world's top chess events and bring those games and bring those moments to the fans. That's our responsibility. We invest money in it. We send Peter there. We send Maria Emelianova there, obviously famous for her foot. We send Mike. I mean, that's our job. We invest in the coverage of top chess because we believe it's part of what we do. We provide things for beginners. We also provide things for the top level chess players and those who are interested in following it. And so it would be hypocritical for Chess.com to maintain its position as a world leader in chess, doing all we can to invest in the coverage and the following of the best players in the world, and not provide coverage of this event, regardless of, like I said, our own dysfunctional relationship with Agon. And believe me, it's not a good one. So in many ways, you know, I've been proud of my company for not speaking on these topics and for taking the high road of some of the own things we've had with them. And we're going to continue to maintain that position and provide coverage regardless of the logistical difficulties. So, you know, I'm open to comments here, and I can't wait to dive in to see what you guys are saying. Maybe you have a different opinion. Obviously, there are lots of other sites. Many of you guys watching this show right now are fans of, you know, Chess24 and other sites that are taking a different position on this stuff, and that's great. I respect it. I understand why they do what they do, but respectfully, Chess.com takes the position it does that providing coverage of these events is our duty, regardless of who is running the situation. Is Kirsan always going to be there? I hope not. Kirsan, don't kill me, buddy. Right? Is Agon always going to be there? Right now, I hope not, because they haven't shown to do a very good job, and they've created all kinds of problems. But I don't want to look back at the dark ages of this and feel like we didn't do our duty, our job, and that's our position. So there you go, and that's why we do what we do. Let's dive into the chat and see the comments. Thank you for hearing me out. So first, we're going to start with Twitch today. Danny is in surround sound in my car. First of all, that sounds scary. You should turn the volume down if I'm in surround sound in your car. So, BJH13, again, thanks for being a subscriber on Twitch, bragging about your rating. That's awesome. You've gained 200 points from watching the Amateur Hour show. Thank you for watching my show. I'm glad to be helping. That's awesome. Scrolling down. What else we got? The problem with boycotting is that there is no way to pressure Agon as long as the current leadership of FIDE is in charge of who handles these events. That's true. And so, again, I agree. And I would argue, I agree with that comment and would say that probably dealing with the officialdom that governs our game hasn't been the most functional situation for years. Kasparov would certainly say so, right? And so would many others. And so Agon is sort of, like I said, when I made that comment that we've been around, I've been around even before Chess.com. I've seen this dog and pony dance show before. And do I hope Agon figures it out? Absolutely. You know, we've been as supportive as we can be of their situation, again, regardless of our difficulties that I'm not going to get into. There are other difficulties with a lot of others are very public, and it's very clear that a lot of people aren't happy, and I'm being very transparent in that we're not either. But the truth is they have to figure this out as far as, you know, no longer positioning themselves as an enemy of the world's major chess media outlets. You see what I'm saying? This is an issue that the officialdoms in chess have had for years, and I'm not afraid to speak on it because I feel super strongly about it. That, you know, I watched the USCF do it. I've watched FIDE do it. They position themselves almost as a competitor with those who they should be partnered with. We're doing more than all of them combined to bring chess to hundreds of thousands of people in the world, and they're making it so difficult to do it. And it's just, it doesn't make sense, and they're doing it because they're hoping to monetize and control something that probably shouldn't be monetized and controlled, and they should find other ways to bring products to people if that's what they're interested in. And it just, you know, it's proving to not be the proper business model, and it's unfortunate. And, you know, again, so obviously they would say I'm wrong, and it's easy for me to say because I'm standing, you know, in the shoes of chess.com. So, of course, I don't want others to try to come and be a competitor of chess.com, but I really don't feel that way. It's just, that's just me seeing what it would be if I was in charge of a, let's call it a government entity. It'd be like the government trying to launch products to compete with Apple. It'd be like the government competing with Microsoft. And chess.com is not Apple or Microsoft, but we provide chess products and training and opportunities for people to get better. And the best chess players in the world inspire people to keep playing chess. And if the government came along and said, like, we're going to control all this and do our own Apple iPhone product, first of all, your product is never going to be as good as a private entity. And secondly, you end up making that private entity who, with a partnership, probably could really help you. Right? So that's the way I see it. And you know, there you go. Salef, also a subscriber on Twitch. Thank you for that. He says he doesn't want to get started on this topic. I hear you, Home Slice. Ilyumzhinov should resign. I already asked him not to kill me. Let's hope that he honors that. To me, it doesn't matter who covers things as long as it's entertaining. That's a good comment. I agree with that. I think that if they were it's also another comment that Peter brings up in this article, and I think it's one of the main negative points, is that unfortunately the coverage hasn't been very good. Right? And so then when they make it impossible for the other people to cover it, awesome guys like Peter Svidler and Jan over at Chess24, I mean, those two together, Jan and Peter together on Chess24 are probably the most entertaining duo on the planet, right? And they aren't covering it, right? And that's a problem. So there you go. Thanks for the honesty, Danny. Okay, you're welcome. I appreciate you you appreciating that. Danny, I agree. Like your commentary. Thanks. Hey, Danny, you got our full support. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Let's check over to the Chess TV chat. Any other negative comments? Anybody want to throw GoPro Chess League, forget FIDE? I agree. GoPro Chess League, forget FIDE, right? Danny, this isn't new. Chess.com completely flipped from up Agon's against it, but this was too hypocritical to rile your supporters up against Agon now. First of all, Hack Lover, you actually don't even know what our relationship was with Agon. You, like many others, assumed that Chess.com was cooperating simply because we weren't in a lawsuit with them, right? And so that's hypocritical of you to make a claim that's based on social media rumors when nobody knows what the relationship is between me, Ilya Morenzon, and Eric, our CEO, besides the three of us. And so, to be honest, not only are you totally wrong, but it makes me, you know, have less respect for the opinions you throw around in the chat, because it's like you can go on social media, you can go on Reddit, it's easy to throw an anonymous opinion out in chat. You have zero clue what Chess.com's relationship is with Agon. All you know is you wish we had been in a lawsuit with them, and to you that would have been really convenient for you if Chess.com was in a lawsuit with Agon, right? That would have made you feel good about it. Makes no difference. We actually have done a ton of investment and a ton of legal research, and we knew exactly what was going on. And regardless, our goal is to bring the joy of chess to fans. That's it. And we have never stopped doing that, ever, regardless of the dysfunctional relationship with Agon, FIDE, or the position of others around us. So, to be totally honest, you're completely wrong and have zero clue of what you're talking about. Thank you. What else we got here? Corrupt organizations like FIDE. Yes, of course. We got the Grand Prix is trying to keep things to themselves. Danny, see my meme at the bottom of the page. Okay, let's see my. You're trying to get a diamond membership, likely. See my meme at the bottom of the page. I don't see your meme, buddy. I'm in the comments. We got a lot of comments here. People saying they tried to watch the coverage. It wasn't great. Agon is here through 2020, so buckle up. That's a good point. Again, that's Chess.com's position too. Our job is that no matter what, chess fans deserve to have the coverage that they've had. And we have done what we've had to do to make sure that happens, and we will continue to. And take the high road and not be involved in a lot of the specific details that would probably be pretty surprising to people. But the bottom line is that Agon is going to be here through 2020. So let's figure it out. Unless this financial situation that Peter alludes to, apparently they owe $500,000 to FIDE, right? And I thought FIDE was the one who was like, I don't even understand it, right? Is that even a thing? It's impossible to understand that. Agon's going to be gone soon. I'm not sure that that's true. Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people just want to discuss the chess games being played, and I hear you, and that's kind of what we're doing. And so there you go. Okay, so you said you had a meme, buddy. I don't see the meme, so I'm gonna have to let that go. Danny, Agon needs to be Agon, LOL, right? A-G-O-N-E. Can I get a diamond membership because I made that funny? You know what? You're hilarious. I don't know that that's diamond membership worthy, though. I feel like people are coming to my shows now just for the opportunity to have Danny just like go Oprah and just start giving away diamond memberships to everybody. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's the first time I've ever seen your name in the chat, NJHAGM. So let me see if you stick around and hear our other shows. So let's see. Danny, I think Agon is falling in the same lines as Microsoft's monopoly. They should not be allowed to stop other chess sites from broadcasting the events. At this point, they're not even stopping anybody from broadcasting. Again, a lot of what you guys are saying is like Hack Lover, and like you guys are saying things that, you know, on the periphery of this. They're not even stopping the broadcast, to be clear. People are choosing not to broadcast. Okay? Legally, their position was based on, I don't even want to get into all this, honestly, because it actually it's a stupid mess. They were never claiming the rights to own the chess game, like the X's and the PGN, okay, which I think it would be a mistake. But so many people already just like ran wild with that opinion. You can't own chess, whatever. They're like, it's like when a bunch of people, it's like the Oxbow incident, right? You ever read the Oxbow incident? That's like Hack Lover, what he's saying. He's just like, he's on a stance and like preaching because everybody's riled around this guy that committed a crime and you don't even know what you're talking about, okay? It's really complicated. But the bottom line is that right now, they're not even stopping anybody from doing it. People are choosing to boycott, and my position is the reason that chess.com is not choosing to do that. Okay, and if you haven't read the Oxbow incident, check out the Oxbow incident. There you go. There we go. What else we got here? We got yeah, I don't feel bad. Sorry I'm slicing a Hack Lover because I think he's totally wrong, and I think it's easy for him to say it. Plus, I give that guy diamond memberships all the time, so I don't think he's going anywhere. He just, you know, he'll say negative comments, and then he'll be back. All right, what do we got? Agon is making money in the short term, but they will lose money in the long term. Well, they're not even going to be losing money in the long term. They're not. It's not working, right? They're in debt, and people are not paying for their broadcast. So it's a tough situation. So, all right. Well, looks. Yeah, I appreciate the convo too. I agree. I'm not mad. I mean, I appreciate Hack Lover. I just don't think he. No, I said what I said. I just completely disagree. I don't think it's fair, and I think chess.com, you know, gets a lot of heat for that from the beginning. When in reality, the comparisons aren't even proper, and people don't really know the details of the relationship. You know, you can't compare it to Lee Chess because Lee Chess doesn't have. There's no monetizing. Like, there's nothing to sue at Lee Chess, right? Right, so they'll do whatever they can to cover it, right? They're anti-capitalist. I'm hoping to overthrow the entire chess internet world, right? So they don't care. Chess24 is in a lawsuit with them, although now it's been kind of settled out. Chess.com took a position that it did to continue to try to provide the best coverage it could to its members, and it always will, and has done everything we can to try to cooperate with the entity that seems to have been given the power against everybody's wishes. And again, not speaking to the fact that it hasn't gone very well with them, and now we're covering it without even having anybody on. Like, it's getting worse and worse. Now we don't even have anybody on site, right? But we're still doing the best we can to cover it, and as long as we can, we will, and that's our position, where we invest more in the coverage of top-level chess than, you know, that's a huge thing we care about, and we hope to continue to have the opportunity to do it. At this point, I feel like it's going to become like a blackout, like we're not even allowed to see anything, right? And I hope not, but, you know, it's a difficult thing. So, all right, well, I appreciate you guys hearing me out on this. You know, I know it's a controversial issue, and I wanted to take the bull by the horns today and face it, because I know a lot of people got a lot of opinions on this. So there you go. There's chess.com's position. As much as we can really talk about and would like to, there's our position on a philosophical level in terms of why we're doing what we're doing, despite what you see maybe some of our peers doing. And I do believe it's a horribly sad situation, but I also believe that chess will survive through this. It's survived dysfunctional entities and financial issues before. The game is bigger than this, you know, and we're going to do the best we can to make sure we don't look back at this era without having done everything we could to make sure the best chess players in the world get the coverage they deserve. Period. End of Danny Rensch rant. Thank you, everybody. Let's do some daily chess and see if we can learn some things today. All right, what do we got? Oh my gosh. Why am I even still playing this game? This is just ridiculous. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for the fans. For the fans. I'm doing it for the fans. I don't even know what Rook H3 was doing. I feel like I don't even know what he's doing over there, right? Meatloaf. Mom! I never know what she's doing, right? Meatloaf. Come on, Meatloaf. I'm going to play queen to g7 quickly, instantly, instinctively. Again, we know I'm lost here with best play, but this move it attacks g2 and maybe creates a little trick for Uncle Sasha here, right? I don't want to talk about it in case this Samuel Joshua guy is watching my show. But maybe a little trick. Okay. All right. eDog99, as you guys all know, took me down in the Chess 960 game. My humiliation was public, and it was vicious. But I had this sort of like weird structural idea for this game. I'm going to keep doing it, right? It's going to be a crazy little Chess 960 game. All right, so here this guy's just lost. He's playing it out. I get it. I understand. Don't want to resign. Okay, this is fun. This is fun. Where is my mate? I told you guys I wanted to have a fancy mate. And so far I have been denied. I have been denied my fancy mate opportunity. Okay, I have a little idea here. I keep playing this one. And I have this combo. Okay, so, all right, not much action going on in the daily chess game, but one thing I wanted to do today is check on the Vote Chess game, because I forgot to do it yesterday. If you guys remember a couple daily chess shows ago, I joined the Vote Chess match for the World versus Melik. So I'm on Team World side here. So this will be kind of fun to give this game even more love here from chess.com. All right, so Melik is playing an Italian game, right? Bishop c5 is what the world voted on. I got to start voting here. We have 12 hours to vote. So after d3, we're not going to get into the sharpest lines of any kind of Giuoco piano. We're getting an Italian. I personally would have preferred the more traditional lines with the bishop on e7 for the Italian. I guess probably the move that we would vote on here is just castles, right? I mean, it seems to be the most natural thing to do. Would I really vote on h6 to stop the bishop from coming to g5? It's possible. It's possible, but... Okay, how do these lines go? If we cackle and he plays bishop to g5, like, we're not worried about anything here. I don't think so. It's not any kind of problem. We can always just deal with this. Like this. I don't play a lot of these, like, super old school. This is like a 4 knights e5 game, right? This isn't a Scotch or some sort of more modern... Oh, cool. You can see the votes? I didn't even know that. Okay, so Castles has that many votes. So that means if I vote for h6, I'm getting outvoted anyway. Not that it matters. Again, we just talked about the Oxbow incident. We're not trying to go with the crowd. We're trying to really think about this situation and not get caught up in the mob mentality. But okay. I guess I'll play d6. It doesn't really matter, but if there's a potential for our move order to maybe get the bishop out earlier, that might be a little better. It probably looks like Castles is going to win. And I don't even think h6 is necessary, so that's why I went against that, not just because it was unpopular. But, all right, so we'll play d6. Maybe d6 makes a late run. We have 12 hours. If you guys haven't joined the Vote Chess game, go ahead and dive in, right? Go ahead and dive in. Dive into the Vote Chess game. Midnight Fox Dota on Twitch wants to know if Kasparov is making a further comeback. So Chess Center is going to be released today. Peter Dockers actually caught up with Kasparov's teams and we asked those direct questions because we wanted to have the scoop. I can say that no, I think that this is an event that is certainly special to see Kasparov come back and play FIDE rated games. Even though he's just a wild card, he affects the standings of others. But the chances of him continuing an unretirement, I think a lot of money would have to talk and a lot of you-know-what would have to walk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Deep Fluke already answered that question. Good Q at Midnight Fox. What did Midnight Fox? Oh, he says good cue because he must feel confident enough in his game to play. You know, but it's rapid and blitz. So I think he's going to take his preparation seriously, tone deaf 1982. But I don't know that it's a matter of him thinking he's going to dominate. Although Magnus Carlsen isn't there, which is an interesting observation, right? If you want my early predictions, I kind of gave it yesterday, but since people still love talking about this, let me go back and just say that I think Kasparov finishes somewhere in the middle of the pack, and early predictions on a rapid event without Magnus Carlsen is very clear. I think Hikaru Nakamura is the clear favorite. I think, obviously Wesley So has played well in spots, but he hasn't been consistent enough. In Paris, he kind of collapsed, right? So, and actually, look, Wesley So's not even in there. So Wesley So, like Magnus Carlsen, is playing the classical portion, but he's not actually in there. So, I mean, I think the early favorites, Nepo is always a dark horse because if he plays well, but I think the early favorite for this event has to be Hikaru Nakamura, and it's probably, to me, I think Hikaru's a heavy favorite, unless he doesn't play well in his hometown or something, but that's my thought. No, and on that note, as you already heard my answer, okay, Prime Shoe says Agon is the saviors. Okay, hilarious, yeah, obviously, okay, yeah, or Agon's right? We all have our perspective, and we're all just totally wrong, and I don't know, but okay. Prime Shoe says Agon is the saviors. I sense a little bit of sarcasm, but I'll take it. All right, Chess TV chat, what's going on? Hacklover is picking Caruana to win. Caruana hasn't played well at all, dude. He played terribly, right? And not as bad as Jobava, but Caruana has not been playing well in these rapid and blitz events. Are we picking the Sinkfield Cup, though, or the rapid? I was picking the rapid because that's what Kasparov was playing in. The Sinkfield Cup Classical, I'm going to pick Magnus Carlsen because it seems silly to pick anybody else. But okay, maybe you meant you were picking Caruana for that. Hopwater SF says he's excited to see. I've already bought the master class, but he for Kasparov, and he's excited to see him play. Gary. Yeah, Hacklover did make a good point that Caruana beat Nakamura in the rapid and blitz last year. But first of all, I think that was a bit of a fluke. I think if they play 10 matches like that, Hikaru wins 6 of them. Maybe I think Hikaru is the heavy favorite there, but okay. You are right. Caruana has played well in rapid before. I just don't think he's playing well right now. Danny, have I ever been to London? I've never been to London. I've been to other places in Europe. I've been to Eastern Europe, but I've never been to London. Danny, if I win a chess game with you, do I get a diamond membership? I lose a lot of chess games, so that's not really a criteria. Usually it takes some other sort of random inspiration. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here in the chat. I actually really appreciate this opportunity to talk about this really critical issue. So for those of you who, didn't appreciate that, wanted more chess, we're going to get some chess right now. Let's dive in, play a few blitz games, have a little fun before we sign off. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody that what's up on the Chess TV schedule today is 2 things. One, we have, if we go to the Chess Today show with Danny Rensch and try to get away from the mirror effect, we have Blitz Brawls at 1 p.m. with Lawrence Trent. Now, I actually talked to Lawrence. There's some crazy stuff going on. I don't know if you guys know about the riots that are going on right now in England, okay? But there's some crazy stuff going on, and it actually is very close to where Lawrence lives. So there's a chance that he may not be able to do his show today, and if you show up and that doesn't happen, just understand why. I think Lawrence is going to do a chess show come hell or high water. There could literally be, a car blowing up outside his window, and he's still going to do chess. But I told him, obviously, be safe, and if him and his gal friend need to get out of there, they should do that. And then I'm going to have my Bullet Brawls today at 3 p.m. So please join me for that. I like to do the Chess TV schedule first before we do anything else. So now let's go play a couple games and get out of here. Let's do it, right? Let's go play a couple games and get out of here. Wait, this isn't really a bullet brawl. Sorry, I should really be playing you guys. I'm sorry. So I'm going to play this guy. I'm going to play this guy, and then I will play you guys. I'm sorry, I forgot. It's not a bullet brawl where I just take on all challengers. Our board seems to be smoother today. We've been working on some issues to improve the animation speeds of our boards. Things like that we do. People would never have, right? We're always working on that just across all, because you deal with a lot of people on slower internet connections, people on, you know, old school browsers, right? People in situations that you never thought you'd have to develop for. So we've had some issues lately, to be totally honest. We've been a little frustrated with the speed and the feel of our blitz. So we've been working on that, and it feels good today. It feels real good, you know what I'm saying? It feels real good, girl, you know what I'm saying? No regrets, yo, my credo. It feels real good. What movie is that? First one to get that movie gets my diamond membership up today. Yo, no regrets, girl, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, I just lost that pawn. Oh, it's my credo, yo. Oh, absolutely right. I just absolutely blundered it. I'm gonna get mated, yeah? I'm gonna get mated. That was ugly. That was ugly. All right, okay, but I'm not here to play a bullet brawl right now. Let's forget about that game. That wasn't my best chess. I'm here to play you guys. We got a couple games against those who've been in the chat. There's a ton of challengers here coming in. Let's take on Bad Dobby Fisher. Because why not, right? That's a great name. Bad Dobby Fisher. Thanks for being a Diamond member. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being here today at the Chess Today show. And let's play some bullet. Maybe we'll even talk about it afterwards. This is not your normal Al-Johan system. And I should know, because I was Alexander Alekhine in my past life, as I've claimed regularly. Do I want that? Yeah, I want that. Give it to me. Give it to me, Holmes. Okay. Not especially ideal, this trade, but okay. We get the pony on d4 and we are happy, yeah? I like it. Alright. I don't really care that much about the b7 pawn, but I guess I'll save it now since the tension is built. Bad Dobby Fisher is playing well. Better than 1100 in bullet, I'll tell you that. You are playing some decent chess, sir. I jinxed you. I totally just jinxed you, bro. I'm sorry, Holmes. Oh, man. Oh, man. So obviously you just blundered that. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay. Now we put this Prix move on and we go get this checkmate. Okay. 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 Let's mate him in the middle of the board, shall we? See if we can do that. Here we go. Here's our mate. Here's our mate chance. Come on. We want mate. I'm not going to mate him. He's going to lose on time. I think he wanted to get his bell rung. Bad Dobby wanted his bell rung. So I don't know if you know what to do against Alekhine. This was fine. Usually, if you go for the c4 line, you're going to follow up with d4. I mean, that's just no reason not to gain that space. So that was like probably less than ideal. In fact, even here, I can probably already consider, yeah, I probably should have just taken and then even played a move like c5. Because, you know, the thing about overextending a center is you have to be careful about the weak squares behind it because those pawns can't back up, right? So those are, you don't see them now when there's a bunch of stuff going on, but those are all potential outpost squares and holes and weak color complexes. So that's why you want to fill the space. Oops, you want to fill the space that you have. You don't want to leave it open for rent. You don't want a vacancy there. So like I said, like I could probably just take it. I don't even know if I need to do anything aggressive here, but I think even c5, but there was no reason to try to like punish this ultra aggressively positionally. I just played normal Alekhine moves with g6. You took. So again, everything you need to do here screams d4. Not filling the space you have is just bad business. Control the center, Holmes. So eventually your lack of aggression led to me being a little more on my own. Normally you might see e5 in an Alekhines and like f5 and try to play over here, right? You get some pawns going on this side of the board. But I was like, why not open up that space? I think your only real lesson in the opening here was play d4, and here you gave up the exchange, which was just less than ideal. So there you go. All right, uno mas. We're about almost at a 45-minute Chess Today show. So uno mas. I got several people here. I'm just going to take on somebody. I got Safi Turek vs Chess. I got a lot of people here. I'm sorry, I don't know who to take on, guys. I'm just going to take on this guy. Or I was going to. I just accepted his challenge. We'll take on Liam Shez. Liam Shez deserves it, right? He's been around. Why wouldn't it let me accept these challenges? There we go. Sorry, Liam. I was pressing accept, and for somehow it wasn't quite going through the way I expected it to. So now who do we got? We got first time player, long time listener, Balash Ukla 0761. Yeah, this sounds like code to release the nuclear ones, you know. 07 Balushka. Like, what is the code on Civil War? Captain America Civil War, by the way. I still think that's like the best. Okay, the original. Let's rank Marvel movies, right? Let's do that. Let's rank Marvel movies top 5. And I want you to really think about this, okay? Because, you know, I don't want, you know, if someone throws out like Iron Man 3, I'm gonna barf, okay? So like, I want you to think about this and give me your serious thought, all right? I've thought about this a lot. Best Marvel movies of all time. Of this, okay, we're going the recent genre, right? We're not talking like Eric Bana Hulk, okay? That's not even on the table, all right? That was before they realized what they had. They're like, oh my gosh, people will spend that much money on superhero movies? Let's do this the right way, right? That's what they were saying. So, Marvel movies, I actually think the original Iron Man might still be number 1. It's up there, right? It was all of a sudden Robert Downey Jr. just owned this character, and it was like everybody was blown away. Okay, I'm just going to rank my top 5 in no particular order. I think the best series of them all, I think most people would agree that what's proven to be the best of all the series has been the Captain America ones. Partly because Captain America Civil War cheated. It was basically like a much better Avengers than Age of Ultron. Am I right? Right? So partly because Captain America Civil War was just so phenomenal that somehow I'm not just like mating this guy. I don't even know how. Maybe I am. I guess we'll do this. Okay. We get... No, it's no bell ringer yet. I thought it was bell. Ring. Duh. Niet. Okay, so my top 5, all right? Good way to end the show. The original Iron Man, the original Avengers, Age of Ultron sucked, right? Okay, so you got the original Iron Man, the original Avengers, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America Civil War, and then, like, for number 5, you got, like, some close calls. I actually think Doctor Strange was really phenomenal. That's probably because I'm really into, like, crazy, like, you know, meaninglessnessfulness and, like, quantum physics and, you know, existentialism thoughts about life. So probably that just was right up my alley. But I actually really like Doctor Strange. But, like, you could also go Captain America Winter Soldier. Like, it was that good, right? Like, another Captain American one. But I think for sure most people have top 4, right? You've got original Iron Man, original Avengers, Captain America Civil War, and original Guardians of the Galaxy. That's me. And number 5 is like, you could probably throw 3 or 4 in the top 5. So there you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Roughly 45-minute or so, I think, Chess Today show. Maybe a little less. I guess I started a few minutes late. I appreciate all your support, all your comments. Sorry you had to get me fired up a little bit about the stuff there. But you know what? Obviously, we will continue to be committed to do our best. Hopefully you guys appreciate, I just wanted to lay it out there for you. I figure if it's on the table, it's on the table, right? Let's bring it on. Transparency and at least say how you feel, right? And there you go. But I think chess has a bright future regardless. All of you guys are awesome. Please make sure you follow and subscribe to all of our channels. I don't even know. I'm supposed to say all that stuff at the end of it, but you're busy. Forget it. You know what? You don't even need to do all that. So just thanks for being you. Thanks for being you. That's it. So peace out, people. Love you.